You know what I'm saying? And and he had decided that he no longer wanted to assume all responsibility of taking care of their teenage daughters. You know, Cookie is, you know, she's single. She got a guy who, you know, who got money. Cookie and I both worked at Ford, so we both getting huge paychecks, and so what have you. And he wanted Cookie to take her daughters. So Cookie had come to me and said, she said, Gerard, she says, can my daughters live with us? And I said, absolutely not. I said, no way, no how, no way on God's green earth am I going to be living with you and two teenage girls. I said, no way, no way, no way. She said, well, she has to go. So I said, okay, look. I said, I'll let you pick. What do you want? You want the apartment or you want the car? And that's how it's always ended with me. You want money, car, whatever, apartment, whatever. And she chose the car. And I just put a rebuilt engine in it, so I knew it was cherried out, cherried out. It was white with a black vinyl top, sunroof, all that whole bit, whole bit. You know. So anyway, so um, she took the car, and I had the apartment. Now, about uh, during this time is Labor Day, and we also had a dog. We had a dog named Granada. Granada was a old English sheepdog. I bought an old English sheepdog. My God, I mean, people love that dog. I used to walk that dog in Central Park, and girls would come from the other side of the park to come over and pet that dog. You know what I'm saying? So old English sheepdog was the dog that we had. And so anyway, so when Cookie left, I used to walk, Granada, because I named after one of the cars that we were making at Ford Motor Company, Granada, you know, um, what have you. So uh, I was walking, and this one girl came and she started wanted to pet the dog and like that or whatever. I let her pet it, and her name was Paola. Paola was a white Italian girl from Pescato, Italy. That's the northern Italy. She was a change of life baby. A change of life baby is usually referred to um, um, couples who have babies when her siblings are usually 30 and 20 years older than she is. So this was like a miracle baby. But Paola's parents or her father was a doctor in Pescato, Italy. And so this was during the time of the war, the Second World War. And they came to him and told him, look, we want to use your villa as a headquarters. He says, you have two choices. You can, let us use your villa and you will come out of the war very wealthy. Or we can just take it from you and you lose everything. So being a thinking man, he agreed to let them use the villa. Now, after it was over with, they became very wealthy. And Paula at this time was, a '60s baby, the Vietnam War and all that stuff like this. And even before then, she hated the fact that her parents had profit from the Nazis, that they had made so much money. So she was rebellious. She would travel the world and get away and like this to get away from her parents because she didn't want to have any type of connection to the money. I know I'm getting away from Cookie, but since I'm telling the story, and so anyway, so she didn't want to have any connection to the wealth that they had. Now, Paul and I ended up having a relationship. You know, um, it was a very good relationship. She was a very smart woman. She taught me a lot educational wise. I learned a lot of my education, a lot about the way I talk, a lot about women through Paula. You know. I also learned that all women have a fantasy of being on a line and having men come in and being chosen. So, I'll tell you that story another time. No, I'll tell it to you now. So anyway, we had a friend who owned this um, it was called Fantasia. Fantasia was one of these sex rooms that were advertised in the paper. Come to Fantasia. We have a red room. We have a tiger room. We have jungle room, and you come in and get massages. It was a massage parlor, and our friend used to come over. The one who owned it used to come over and talk or whatever like this, or whatever, hang out with us. And I've even worked security there a couple of times and whatever. And Paola wanted to go and try it. So I said, well, if that's what you want to do, if that's your fantasy, to want to do that, then go ahead and fulfill your fantasy. So she did, and she fell in love with she she fell in love with some sailor, who only come to the show whatever, but like this, he must have really put it on this. So anyway, to make a long story short, I ended up meeting another girl, and oh, so she was coming over and seeing me. Now remember, I lived on the 15th floor. So one day, Cookie came over, and Cookie tried to get into the apartment. I said, "No, no, Cookie, you can't come in." She said, "Why?" I said, "Cookie, I have somebody here." So she was able to peek in the door and see it was a white girl, and she went, "You have a white girl in my apartment?" I said, "Cookie, this is not your apartment no more. You have the car." And she was downstairs. "He has a white woman in my apartment." She was insane about it. About 2 weeks later, I went to go. A week or so later, I went to go see her. To kind of talk to her. And my Lincoln was up on blocks. They had stripped it, took everything off it. I swear, I shed a tear. And she looked really bad. She was run down. She was, I mean, it was really bad to see her in that state. And for me to think that I had something to do with that, I just refused to even entertain that thought. So anyway, so that I had a relationship, and Paola, you know, um, she ended up, when I was leaving her for another girl, she ended up, wanting to commit suicide. She had a son that was like a little genius, Gordon. I never forget him. Knew everything on the Monopoly board, everything on the Monopoly. And she ended up taking pills and collapsing on my suitcase when I was leaving. And I remember standing over her and thinking, maybe I should just let her die because maybe, you know, it would be better this way for her. And then I snapped myself out of it and called 911, and they came and rushed her to the hospital and pumped the stomach and got her back. She was very upset with me that I told her son what she had did, but anyway, you know, um, you know, that was the name of that. So anyway, so getting back, this is a long way about what a black woman wants or what they want, but black men are now, you know, looking to date women outside of their race. Not only is it less confrontation, you know, I mean, you look at a black woman when I gave her the example of, my looks, or this is what I want, what this is all I bring to the table. And now you look at the Filipino woman that you go on the internet and online and chat rooms and you find this gorgeous Filipino woman, then you know this is what she's bringing to the table. She's not, she's not a rocket scientist. She's not. She doesn't have to. One thing about being in the Philippines is that you don't have to worry about a job. You don't have to worry about getting up and going to work. You don't have to worry about all that. I mean, your life is here in the Philippines is pat. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to. You don't have to worry about the hustle and bustle. Sex should never be an issue because you don't have the pressures. You don't have the worry. Of what you would have in your own country in the States working a 9 to 5. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, you get involved with the Filipino woman, and she is totally oblivious to how you know um, how black women are you know, or what the black man don't want to have, or how she is, one of those type of things, you know, and and surprised enough, she doesn't want, she wants to be taken care of, yes, you know, but it's it's good when you can find one. I told my friend I was telling you about yesterday, and about the video about Joy to the World. This one blogger says you always tell them to stand up and turn around. I hope you notice I did not tell her to stand up and turn around, so you can take a look at her body. Okay, so give me props for that, my man. I don't know who was it said that, but you know, you don't have to, you just don't have to worry about the things that you would have to worry. You know, a Philippine, you go online. You find someone that, uh, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's, you know, I know, like I said it 1,000 times, I know I can't, meet someone on the internet and you know, expect to have, you know, you know, you know, expect to really know anything about them. I mean, to know anything about them, because everything you've probably been told is probably lies. I shouldn't say that, but it's probably true. It's probably true, you know. And you know, those of you, who have make it work, then you're an exception. You are the exception. I know me. I know what it is I want. I know I ran through enough Filipinas here, to where is that, I'm not craving none other than my wife, you know. So I'm very happy, with I found someone that fits, you know. I just said, damn, I wish I was your lover. I love you till the end of dawn. You're the only key that fits. I know that I'll never grow tired of it. You see what I'm saying? You have to find someone that you won't grow tired of. You know, and you won't grow tired of them as long as you have parameters in that relationship that should not be crossed, broken, or ignored. You know. My parameters are very simple. I spoke to him yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Your responsibility is to never say no to me. And I don't know how much longer I have on this earth. Hey, I don't know how much libido I have left in me, but I'm not about to try to experiment with Viagra or some of this crazy shit that they sell on the streets of Dumagetti. I'm not going out that way. I'm not. I'm not gonna play Russian roulette with my life. On a boner pill. I'm just not going to do it. And however long that it lasts for me, it's once it's over, it's over. It's over.